Hey guys, Jay here. This is my Sith cosplay. Well, kind of. This is part of my Sith cosplay. It's not done. So it's basically a Sith Lord from Star Wars, if you couldn't tell. So there's a couple things that I'm not gonna do in this video. I don't have the mask that I'm using. I'm actually using a mask that will go with this whole thing, but it's not here yet at the time of me doing this. It's not really important at this point, but it'll look like this. But so also I can't put the hood and stuff up right now because it echoes throughout the hood and it's really loud. My voice is going to have to be raised for that or lowered or something. It'll be harder to hear basically, so I'm not going to do that. And then I also have these tux gloves. I'm just going to use these. I don't know if I'm going to cut off the fingers or not, but these are the better tux gloves. They're really nice and silky, but they don't have the three things on the back of the hand that you see a lot of those gloves have. So they're smooth all the way through, which is nice. I like that better. As well as this goes up and the hood goes up. So I'm just going to show you real quick. Yeah, that, and it gets hot. It's already hot. But anyway, so yeah, my Sith cosplay. Today, if you couldn't tell by the thumbnail and the title, I'm going to be showing you how I made this belt system. It's really just two belts, but I'm going to show you exactly what I did. So let's get on into that. So I think I am going to use this belt here. I'm going to cut it short, burn it so that it, make it shorter basically. And then burning this kind of thing with the lighter makes it not, fray anymore. So there's that. I didn't want to use that if I could help it. I'm still deciding. I also have these two buckles here. This one's your typical center bar buckle is what they're called, but it's really nice. It's like a gunmetal. But that nothing else on the costume looks like this color. Everything else is like a brighter silver. So I have this buckle as well. This is like a parachute buckle. I like the way this one looks. It looks very much like it would be a Star Wars thing to me. It just looks cool. And Atlas agreed with me, my friend Atlas, who's a huge Star Wars nut. He thinks this would look good too. And as well as it matches the shine of silver that's on the rest of the costume. But I have to make sure something will fit on this, or well, this will fit on something. And this is the thing that holds the lightsaber in. So it has a little knob on the back of the butt side of the lightsaber. It clips in and then goes down. So you've probably seen these type of things this way, where you would have a nail on the wall, go in and it'd hook down like that. Old phones used to do that. There's a lot of picture frames that do that. So there's just the opposite way, and instead of the thing with the hole being the hanging part, it's the thing with the knob being the hanging part. Anyway, so I have this pleather here. I don't want to undo it too much, but I've folded it over on itself. So this side is folded over once, and then this side is folded over twice. So fold it over, and then I folded that part over and folded it over this way, and I got this. I like this size. I tested it already on my costume and it works for me. I just have to make sure that it's a uniform size all the way through, or at least close enough before I sew it up. And I'm just gonna use my machine and sew straight through it. This stuff's easy to sew through. This is, I don't know what kind of pleather this is, or vinyl, or whatever you want to call this. It's just what I have. I was going to use a thicker one. There was a marine vinyl is what it's called, which is what I make a lot of my boot covers out of, because it's thicker and doesn't fold over on itself. But there's nothing I can do about how much I have, and I'm not going to go buy more. This is wider. This length here is bigger than around me, so I have room to figure out how tight it needs to be and like how to enclose it. And I'm thinking for closure, I'm going to just use Velcro or buttons. I don't know, or snap buttons, like the once you snap in place. Both will work and both should hold, because the belt that goes in the middle, so this is going to be like this, because it doesn't touch all the way here. That way it looks like it's one layer instead of two. I made it so it doesn't like go end to end here. So it's a little bit lower on the back side so that it looks nicer. And then the little belt is gonna go on top of it. This works here because these are two different shades of black. This is a much more matte and darker black. This is a slightly weathered not as dark black, but it's also like a textured black that's different. So it just looks different. And you can see the difference. And I'm not sure how well you guys can see the difference because lighting is weird in this room, but I can see it really well. If I can, I'll get a picture of that. But I was debating figuring out if I could use this or something else. The other thing I have is this shinier stuff that looks not bad up against it. It works. It's still like a weave. I don't like this weave pattern. That's what I don't like. I like the leather look. But I don't have another black that won't like look like this. So that's the problem. The other problem I'm having, this doesn't really fit that well. So on here, this thing is super loose. I don't like that. I want it to be nice and tight. Even though it'll be tight up against the thing, it'll still be kind of loose, and I don't like that. And it's slippery. This is like really slippery and silky, so it'll slide around a lot, and I don't want that either. And I don't want to have to sew this down. Like, I don't want to have to sew around it or anything, or sew this down to here because I would need to be able to remove it. So because this big piece is going to connect in the back, and I wanted this piece to have this buckle to connect in the front, so it would look like that. So I'll have it sewn on each end, and then I'll work from there. I have no idea. Which way does this go? This way. I was doing it the wrong way. There we go. So that would be like this, and the other one would be on there, and it would close. So I'm going to do that and see what happens. All right, so I got the machine set up, and let me... There we go. Make sure everything's good to go. Clamp down. So I don't normally sew this kind of a thing like this. I usually do it by hand. This is my only black thread, and it's on here, so I'm not going to take it off. It's not going to look perfect, but it'll be better than nothing. Alright. So I went over that a few times, and then I like to, at the end of this, tie the ends together, and then now this is sewn down. And then I'm going to round this off a little bit so it's not so squared. And I have a lighter somewhere so I can unfray this, but let me go find that. Found it. So be careful if you ever want to do this, but this is like, I don't need to use fray block on here because it melts. Cooled off? Cool. So now it doesn't fray. Yeah, be careful with the fumes of that because that's dangerous. But let's see. This way it looks like is the correct direction. And I'll just do the same thing here, but I'm gonna put everything on with this and then this around it and tighten it to what I need it to be, and then do the same sewing right here, just the same thing, just making it the correct size that I need. But I'm dumb, I should put this on first. Yeah, this doesn't go over it, so I should put that on first. So, which way do I want this to go? I think I want it to go this way so I can use my right hand to undo it. That way, when it's on like this, I use my right hand to bam and pull it away. So that'll be good. So this will be on my right side because I'm right-handed. So do this out like this, fold it over. This goes that way. Put that on there. And then put this on like so. I'm gonna just put this thing way in the back so I don't have to worry about it. Make sure everything's connected correctly. It is. Okay, everything is on there correctly. So I can now put the costume itself on. Like, I'm just putting the jacket part on. I'm not worrying about everything else. Putting this over that. Or this piece. My hand was out of frame. This piece over that. And then this on top of this while it's all on and not connected to anything. That way I can figure out how tight this needs to be, and then I can sew this down. Alright, so now the other piece of the buckle is on there. Yeah, so this is what this looks like now. And then it just comes apart, but I have this on my right side so that it, because I'm right-handed, so bam, I take it off with my right hand. Cool, that'll work for me, for now anyway. I was really, really, like, afraid that I was going to have to do something like make a double-sided one of these where it's got like more than one layer, like 2 layers, and then having to put like a button snaps on the inside and then snap it down to this to keep it in place. But it looks like with it tight enough on me, it won't move around, so that's good. I'm not going to worry about it then. This I need to sew up. I'm debating, do I need to sew that up? Because, yeah, you know what I should? I'm going to sew it on either side, even though I don't need to sew it on the one side, because that way it'll look even. But I need to first make sure it's all the same size all the way around. And then once I do that, so I need to like this. Yeah, one side's bigger than the other. So I need to make sure that it's the same size all the way around it. And then clamp it down. I don't want to pin this because pinning pleather leaves holes. But I should have grabbed them. I have these. These are sewing clips. So they're kind of like binder clips, but they're for sewing. And just like that. And I do that all the way down. I don't even know if you can see that, sorry. But I'm using these and clipping the pieces together so that it goes all the way down. And that's all I'm doing. And again, like I said before, I'm making sure that the layer that's going to be underneath is not level with the layer that's going to be shown on top. That way you can't see that it's 2 layers. This is going to be the bottom, so it's going to be this way where the actual fold is on top and the 2 edges that are connecting are down here, which will make it harder to see. But just in case, I'm making it so that it's impossible to see that it's 2 layers. So I'm just going to go through the rest of this and finish this up. So just so you know, I am doing this on the back side. So the back side is face up so that I can see where the 2 pieces don't meet, so I know the line not to go over. Usually with this, I try to go as close to the edge as possible with my thread, but I don't want to do that because I don't want to go too close to that edge. So I have my needle set in the middle. I normally set it all the way to the right, or well, my right anyway. But yeah, so I'm not doing that for obvious reasons. So it's set in the middle, so I'm just going to go all the way down this and then go all the way back up. I might even just like continuously go through the edge, go across the thing, and then go back up, but I'll figure that out when I get to it. Alright, I'm amazed I had enough bobbin for that. Cool. I was afraid I was going to run out of bobbin. So I am just going to do this way and then just go over the rest of it. That's not the straightest stitch. This thing kept moving on me. There's nothing I can do about it. If I ever remake this, maybe I'll get a sturdier table to put it on, because that jumped around everywhere and made it really hard. And I can't seem to get this end to tie. Oh well. I was going to tie the end like I normally do, but never mind, I guess. This end, however, I can totally do that too. Oh, that line didn't turn out too bad. I think it's just, like right here is kind of bad, but that's on the back, that's good. I think the majority of the front is fine, so that's good. I think I have enough bobbin for the rest of this. It doesn't look like it went down that far. So, yeah, I'll just finish this up. And luckily, I can just hold this flat like this, so it won't bulge all weird like it was when I was doing the other side. So, we'll see how this goes. Okay, yeah, that line is a lot nicer. Should have thought about this. There's a crease right here. There's a couple creases. Oh, well, it's fine. It'll be covered. But yeah, so the main belt is done, the big belt. And so, here, let me move all this stuff. So that's nice and done. I can actually use this belt as a guide for how long this belt's going to be. So I just need it to be like just slightly longer, and then I can overlap it on itself. So if I make it the same length as this center belt, I can cut it off a little bit over here, so it, because this is a lot of overlap. There's no way this is too short because it's longer than the belt that goes over it. So that would be literally impossible. That would break physics, which actually happens to me more than you think it does. But that makes it easier for me to figure out how far around it's going to go, where all the snaps are going to go, and stuff like that. So this will go around like this. Yeah, and then I'll just figure out where the snaps need to go. Not too bad. I mean, hell, I don't even think I need the snaps on it, honestly, because with how tight this belt is around it, it ain't going nowhere. But I'm going to do it anyway, just in case. So, let's move that. I really wish I had a use for this other belt buckle, but oh well. I'm also going to buy some bags that I can put on this belt. I'm going to buy like a bigger pouch on one side and a smaller one on the other side. One for my wallet, one for my phone. The phone will be probably on my left side, wallet on my right side. Probably shouldn't say that because people can steal from me. But the point is, I'm going to have those so that, you know, so I can have a place for those. Because the zipper on the jacket goes down far enough to where it'll be a little hard to get into my pockets. And pouches kind of look nice, so I'm just going to do that. Now I just need to figure out where those snaps are going to go. I just got to make sure they go on the correct way. So, I might do them. So if I can get them through the whole thing, that'd be nice. Let me see if I can do that. So, I have this huge bag here of snaps. You get one of the bottom ones. Oh yeah, that'll barely go through. Okay. That should be good enough. That means that I'll be able to get it to go all the way through, and then I'll be able to get the snap on it. So that's good. So now I just need to figure out where these are going to fit on this, and then put it together. And these don't even have to look nice. I might just say screw it and just hammer these down like normal, right, without the tool. Well, without the main part of the tool, because if the tool has a thing to make the tops still look nice, but this will be behind me, so what do I care? If I can find the tool over here, it's over that way. There's a bunch of stuff. It's in there somewhere. If I can find it, I'll find it. If not, then screw it. I'll just make it not look great, but it's whatever. Anyway, but yeah, I can't do this on camera because I have to like have people help me. So I'm gonna go do that and have someone help me figure out where this fits best going around me. Okay, it took me a minute, but I did find the tool for my snaps. So, the first thing we're going to do, I already figured out the overlap here. So, these two, so it overlaps like this, basically. So, it's not the best, and actually this could be over a little bit. There we go. So, it overlaps like this. I'm just going to do the end of this side, because it's easier. It's right here. So you go to that size. Then I'm going to make some holes. I'm just going to do 3 because it's easier. So I'm going to do 1 in the center-ish. Doesn't have to be perfect. I don't really care. Straighten this out as much as possible, actually. And then do that. Bam. Makes a hole. No. Yeah, I'm going to make this the top side so that when I take it off, I can rip it from the back. Like I can peel these off from this side, from the right side. Because this is the top and this is the outside. So this will be facing behind me. So I want both of these pieces actually. So that works. And then I'll put this through here, through all of the holes I just made in these layers of fabric. Oh yeah, that fits just fine. And then I can put this in there. And then I'll use the tool to, you know, smash it down. But first, actually, what I want to do is make the other holes. So I need to flatten this back out again so that that's all right where it needs to be. This is really difficult actually, because it likes to move on me. There we go. Flatten it. Let's do it off the table like this. Now this will work a lot better. So I can flatten that out where it needs to be. Right there will work. There's the second hole, and then the third hole. Do the same thing, but the opposite. But I also have to do it on the other side. So I need to mark through these holes onto the other side. Let's see if this white will work. Let me just, barely, but it works. So put that together like I need it to be. And it didn't work exactly, but I can see where the holes need to go. So there's that. So I will flip this over because I can see them on this side. I'll just do it over the table again to make it easy. And actually, since I know where those go, I can cut that down and then do the same thing. Perfect. So that's all the holes I need. And now, I don't need these on there anymore. And then, I know that these line up now. So all I have to do is put all the snaps in place. So I'm going to move, I don't know. I might have to move some stuff over. I need to get my stool because this is really loud when I hammer on it. The stool is a lot quieter and it's better for, you know, being in my house. All right, it's a little difficult to see, but I think it'll work just fine. Move my table. Yeah, I think it's gonna be super hard to see. I don't know. Anyway, so this little piece goes down like this, and it's got two sides on it, so that it has two sides. So I'm going to. This is the front facing. Yeah. Okay. So this will be the side that gets the actual top of the snap, the visible part of the snap, even though this one is going to be under the belt, the other belt, but it's whatever. And then that rests inside the concave section of this double-sided thing. And then we put, what I call this the bowl piece. It looks like a bowl, and you can hear that it makes like a metallic noise. It's because the little ring inside that holds the snap can move freely, like on a ball bearing type thing. And then this little peg thing has a little notch, or what? Not a notch. The opposite of a notch. A thing at the bottom that goes inside, so it stays in place. There's instructions on the back of these things. Why am I explaining this? And then you just hammer it down, and bam, you have the top of a snap. And then just to show you, to do the bottom, this way, so the flat piece with the peg sticking up is what's going to be on the underside, the most underside, but I got to grab a new one now. I'll find that later. Hopefully I don't step on it. There we go. So that'll go through like that. And then the other side of this is the flat side, but you can do it on any flat surface, honestly. If it's a flat, hard surface, it'll be fine. And then, where is it? Yeah, nope, not that piece. This piece, I call it the inverted bowl because it's the inverted version of the other side. But it's, I don't know what you would call this. But anyway, that one goes like so. Is actually a little difficult, but I'll make it work. It's like that, and then you do the same thing. So what this thing does, this little peg thing, when you hit it down, the piece on this, very hard to see. The little peg on this, it breaks it in all directions to crush it down, basically, over the other piece, so the two pieces are stuck together by being crushed together. So, but anyway, so we have these two pieces now that snap together. Bam. I'm just going to do that 2 more times. Alright, I put the thing, the tool thing, inside the bag. So hopefully it just stays there. But this is done. So bam. Done. Now that's just how it'll stay. And then that just goes around me. And then this belt goes around that. So, yeah, that's basically the entire tutorial, actually. I don't need to do anything else. You'll see pictures of it afterwards. I'm hopefully going to be getting some good photos of this, so we'll see what happens there. Alright, so, end of the video. I've already explained what the costume's going to look like with the other stuff that I don't have yet. But yeah, that's how you make this belt and this belt. And now, as you can see, this slides around freely. But I'm also going to have some bags on here. I'm thinking of like a small one on here for my phone and a bigger one here for my wallet. I'm not 100% sure what I'm gonna do there. I'm looking to see for prices. I'm trying not to spend like $20-something on a bag. So I'm gonna get the cheapest things I can find. I don't know what's gonna happen, but yeah, so that's how you make everything that I just was talking about in the video. So if you like this, go ahead and give it that thumbs up, subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys later.